I got a short memory, just like when I was in the 3rd grade. 2 of the best years of my life.
Oh man, if you're an Alabama fan, this is not going to be a video you're going to want to watch. I'm letting you know right now it's bad news, and the reason for that is because Nick Saban and Alabama's nightmares are coming true. Alabama and Nick Saban has flat out obliterated and completely dominated college football for the last 15 years. It's not even close. The separation from Alabama and the second best team over the past 10 to 15 years, you can't even compare them. However, this amazing run they're going on might be coming to an end very soon. We're going to talk all about that, and Bryce Young, ironically enough, just sent out a message to the entire country. You're going to want to hear that, and we also got to talk about some other stuff, including a high school recruit who allegedly is receiving $10 million to go to a college. It's going to be a good one. Go get your snack or favorite meal you like to eat while you watch a video just like me, because come on now, we all do that. And now, without further ado, let's get into it. We're going to start off with something juicy first, and I had someone send me this on Instagram. I appreciate it. You know who you are. Like always, I appreciate whenever you guys send me news, because in reality, it helps out the videos and the channel. We did talk about this a little yesterday. Jaden Rashada, who was one of the top high school quarterbacks in the class of 2023, he committed to Miami. It didn't seem like a big deal at the time. However, it has allegedly come out that he is going to earn $9.5 million. And it was also said, check this out, he turned down $11 million from the Florida Gators. Let me make this very clear. This isn't coming from me. I'm just the messenger. I'm reading you off the news. When I first saw that, I thought it was a complete joke, and I did some digging and research, and it appears that everybody else thinks it's a complete joke, including Miami. I've already seen people from Miami shut down those rumors. You got to think about it. No college, I don't care how good you are, is going to pay you nearly $10 million to come to their school. It's not going to happen, and I know somebody's going to bring it up, and it is a valid argument. Well, what about Nico? He went to Tennessee and got $8 million. Well, number one, he's not even going to receive $8 million when he first goes there. He's only getting $2 million every single year. And more than likely, if he's going to be as good as he looks and everybody says he's going to be, he's not going to be at Tennessee for more than 2 years. That $8 million that Nico is anticipated to receive is split out over those 4 years, so he's really only getting $2 million a year. $2 million is a lot of money, but for a quarterback in the name, image, and likeness era, not too much. But when you start talking about $10 million, that's utterly ridiculous. Let me give you a better perspective. Right now, Baker Mayfield, who won the Heisman Trophy and is a starter in the NFL, teams aren't even willing to pay him $15 million right now. And if an NFL team doesn't want to dish out $15 million for Baker Mayfield, no college university is going to dish out $10 million for a high school quarterback. You don't even know if he's going to be good. I'm not even a Baker Mayfield fan, but heck, at least he's somewhat proven himself. I might as well throw this in there, but I don't even want to speak on it too much. Alabama also just landed a 5-star cornerback that goes by the name of Tony Mitchell. Not going to say too much. It's Alabama. They get 5-star recruits all the time. It is what it is. Oh snap, hold on. Check this tweet out right here. Since 2006, this cluster has delivered 24 national titles in football and baseball. I am happy and proud to say I'm a part of that cluster, and if you live in any of these states right here you see highlighted, you're an elite person. I know this is kind of off topic, but I strongly believe if you ever seen the Hunger Games, you know how they divide the regions up. If you took this region right here and battled any other region in the country, we're killing them. The Southeast, not just in football, but in every aspect of life, is elite. You want top baseball, basketball, and football recruits? Look nowhere else. You want some great food? Look nowhere else. We got everything. You want beaches and beautiful places to live? We got that in Florida. We got everything. Me personally, I hate country music, but we got country music. But we also got some of the biggest rappers that are from Atlanta, Georgia. All right. Let me stop bragging about the SEC. Let's get a move on into the main topic and main encore of this video. That is no other than Mr. Nick Saban himself and Bryce Young. Bryce Young, like a lot of other quarterbacks right now, he just went to the Manning Passing Academy and he's been there. And at this Manning Passing Academy, he got interviewed and asked about losing in the championship, and here's what he had to say.
And the win and to win the level that we went to. Obviously, we came up short last year, and for me, that's all that I'm focused on.
What does the Heisman mean in the context of the season where you might have fell short of that?
Oh yeah, and I don't know if you could hear him or not, but then they asked him about how it was winning the Heisman.
I mean, it doesn't mean that much. I mean, I don't want to downplay it all because it's a huge honor. It's a huge blessing. You know, it's something you dream of as a kid. So it definitely doesn't. It's not like it doesn't mean anything. But at the end of the day, my goals were to win a championship. Especially, that's our goal every year. That we don't shy away from it. That's our standard. So it's definitely something cool to look back on, and probably be more fun to look back on down the line. But right now, in the moment, last year's season was a failure. So for me, for everyone, because we didn't win, and that's what our goal is. So that's.
Very mature words from him, and it's nothing less than I'd expect out of an Alabama football player. One of the best things Saban has done ever since he's got there, he has somehow gotten his players to act like they're robots to the media. They never brag on themselves, and they always shut down their accomplishments and focus on the standard. And the standard at Alabama is you win a championship, or last season was a failure. Doesn't matter how good you were. I wanted to share that with you before we talk about what's currently happening with Nick Saban. The thing that has separated Nick Saban from everybody else, the thing that has made him the greatest college football coach of all time, is power. He has power, and I gotta give credit to him because he created it for himself. And one thing you gotta learn in this life is power is everything. When you have power, you can control a lot of things that many others can't. And what Nick Saban has tried to do, or not really tried, he has done it the past 15 years, he's created his own system and bubble within Alabama. Ever since 2009 up until our current date, he's made it clear to all these football recruits, hey, if you don't come here, it doesn't matter, we don't need you, we're gonna win championships regardless. His only sales pitch to these recruits is we're gonna win championships, you might as well join us. You can either join us and win those championships, or you can go somewhere else to a lesser program. Because if Alabama is the standard and they've been the best team since 2007, 2008, 2009, they are number one, so everyone else is lesser. If you don't know what I mean by that, here's what I'm trying to say, and I'll dumb this down the best I can. Saban has a characteristic trait that a lot of other successful people have. He wants to control the controllables. He knows he can control recruiting, and he wants to dominate it. He also knows once he gets these recruits to Alabama, he can make them the best they can. That's stuff he can control. However, in 2022 and moving forward, you can no longer control that. He's not going to be able to dominate the recruiting and control it like he once did. And he can sit up here and say to everybody it's not the end of the world and it's not the biggest deal, but he hates it. I don't think he hated the transfer portal. It didn't bother him because he knew it wasn't going to affect Alabama, and if anything, it was going to help him. But the one thing he absolutely despises is name, image, and likeness. Whoa. Hold on. I know what you're sitting there saying. Yo, Matt, why does he hate it? You would think a program like Alabama, who has won so many championships, they have the money to compete in that, and if anything, just like the transfer portal, it should help them, right? Well, it's not quite as simple as that. It doesn't matter if Alabama wins 10 straight championships, they still don't have the money that USC has, Texas has, and Miami and Florida. Yes, Alabama's a great team, but they're not really in a great market. I don't want Alabama fans to take this the wrong way. You do have money to compete, but you're not going to be number one like you've been the past 10 years. Nobody with a lick of sense would tell you right now Alabama has the most NIL money to offer. What has helped them though, and I don't think you should worry about it, is they're so established with getting players to the NFL, and Nick Saban's still there, it's not going to hurt them that much. But what's going to start to happen is you're not going to see Alabama just terrorize the recruiting like they've been doing. Let me give you an example, and I think this is a great perspective. 15 years ago, when Nick Saban walked into Julio Jones's house and did his recruiting pitch, all he had to say was, I'm going to make you the best player, and just give his normal pitch like any other coach did. Fast forward in time to 2015, when he would recruit players, he'd say, hey, look at what we've done. Why wouldn't you come here? But now, fast forward in time to 2022, if he does his regular sales pitch like he did in 2015, well, a recruit's going to look at him and say, hey, Texas is offering me $3 million. What are y'all going to offer? The tables have turned, whereas Nick Saban and the coaching staff, they used to have the power. No, now the players have the power. And I'm going to let you know, I am here for it, but I also think it's a dangerous game. It's really crazy when you think about it that the players, they have the say-so now. And I already know there's going to be some Bama fans saying, well, why wouldn't you come here? We get the most players to the NFL. And I hate to break the news to you, it doesn't matter. A lot of these high school recruits understand there is a great possibility they don't even make it to the NFL. They don't want the long-term money. Nobody wants the long-term money. We want instant gratification in this life. Every human does. They don't want to wait 3 or 4 years to get that $1 million paycheck. If they can get it now, that's what they're going to do. None of these players care about history. None of these players care about the tradition. None of that. They want the money. Does tradition, the head coach, the coaching staff, The recent success have a play in it? Yes, but it's not as big as the money. Come on now, say it with me. Money runs the world. Yeah, maybe if you come from a great family with money and it's rare like Arch Manning, money's not going to persuade your decision. But I'd say for 85% of these kids going to college, they're not coming from high class or even middle class families. A lot of them are making their decisions off of their family situation. And unfortunately for Nick Saban, when it comes to name, image, and likeness, Alabama not going to be as dominant. They're simply not. You're going to see USC dominate. I think you're going to see Miami potentially dominate in the future. Might see Florida dominate down the road. Maybe Florida State. Maybe, just maybe, Michigan. Think about that. Ohio State. All these big name schools. And of course, can't forget to mention good old Texas and Texas A&M. Alabama can simply not compete with Texas A&M and Texas money. It's not going to happen today. It's not going to happen in 5 years. It's not going to happen in 10 years. And it's never going to happen. Is Nick Saban extremely worried about this? I don't think so, but I can guarantee you this. It keeps him up at night. I promise you, it ekes at him, it gets at him how he can no longer walk into a recruit's house and say, hey, you either join us or you're not going to win championships, because now the recruits will leg up and say, hey, I don't care about the championships, give me some money. Say what you want, Bama fans, but name, image, and likeness, it's not going to benefit you. Like always, I'm curious, let me know your thoughts down below, but what always happens, man?